clove hitch. Well, technically it's a clove hitch with 2 half hitches. It is one of the most widely used, versatile and useful knots in arboriculture. So without those half hitches, by itself, that's the clove hitch. But the danger of the knot like that is that, as you can see, it rolls and the tail disappears through the knot. So for climbing and rigging, for life support, pretty much always it needs those 2 half hitches. So just dress it up nicely there. 1 half hitch, 2 half hitches. And if I wrap that around, you can see that the half hitches prevent what's called rollout. The half hitches will hold that securely. So clove hitch is such a simple knot, and yet strangely a lot of people struggle with it when they're learning. To tie it, I'm just going to pass the working end around the object once, and then when I come back for the second time, I'm going to cross over in the opposite direction. So that could be in either direction, works both ways. Crossing over this way, so I'm crossing over from right to left. And when I come back for the second time, I'm going to go under the rope there. Just give myself enough tail. You can see that's my clove hitch. Really just give myself a bit more tail. One. Two half hitches. So that's a clove hitch with 2 half hitches. When you hear people say, tie onto that with a clove hitch, you can assume they mean a clove hitch with 2 half hitches, because without that, as we saw, it's quite an unstable knot. There is another way to tie this. If I'm not tying it on with the end of the rope, one thing I can do is I can make an overhand clockwise loop, and then I make an overhand anti-clockwise loop further down the rope. And you can see that when I've made those 2 loops, what I've got there is a clove hitch. I can just push the end of the object through it, pull it tight, and I've got my clove hitch. So that's something you might be doing if you were tying a sequence of these along another rope, say, like when you're setting a rope with a throw line, you sometimes do that. So I've done the same thing here. I've done overhand clockwise loop, overhand anti-clockwise loop, and what I've got there is a clove hitch. So if I'm using these inline and both ends of the rope are secured past the knot, I'm not going to do the half hitches, but in every other case I will. So strong, secure, stable and versatile knot. Fairly easy to untie even after a heavy load. Quick to tie, nice and snug. 1 half hitch, 2 half hitches, and there's our clove hitch with 2 half hitches.